Welcome to the United Man, everyone. It's been a long while. Football's back. The Premier League is back. More importantly, Manchester United are back.
The mic, making sure productive time.
So it's been a while. It's been a hot minute, as they say. Yeah, there's been no football on. So that's one of the reasons why I've not been on for a while. Also been obviously dealing with this furlough business because of the COVID-19. I hope everyone's doing well as well. Yeah, so we've got a lot to talk about. So let's begin. We've got a load of injured players back. Unfortunately, still got a couple of injuries in Tuanzebe and that guy, Phil Jones. But the main protagonists are back. Pogba, Rashford. Eric Bailly came back before the lockdown as well. So we're very, very close to full strength. In terms of our starting 11, I believe our full strength team is available. So all's looking well at the moment. Hopefully the game against Tottenham really shows the progression of where we've come and the job that Ollie's done so far. So yeah, let's see how we get on. Bruno Fernandes has come out basically stating how excited he is to play with Paul Pogba. He obviously went on to say the fact that I'm sure everyone's looking forward to playing and seeing Paul Pogba be back on the pitch again, but he's definitely looking forward to striking up a hopefully long-lasting partnership with Paul Pogba. Further elaborating on that potential partnership, do we even think they're going to start together against Tottenham? Do we think if they do start together, they're going to hit it off? Or is Pogba going to spit his dummy out because he was the previous main man? Bruno seems to come in and taken over that mantle. Do we feel that they can actually exist in the existing formation that Ollie's been playing most of the time, which is a 4-2-3-1? So there's lots of questions around it, but as they say, good players can play together. Personally, I feel that Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba will be able to operate in a three-man midfield together, supported by possibly McTominay, Fred, or Matic. Matic, obviously, he was somewhat of a revelation. He was deemed to be out of the club, out of contract, going to be booted out the door, but his resurgence in the past 6 months leading up to the lockdown pretty much solidified him in place for at least the next season in Manchester United squad. Now, before the lockdown, we were on a tear. We were on an 11 unbeaten game run. Now, some would say that the break has, given us the opportunity to get Rashford back, which it has obviously. Given us the opportunity to get Pogba back, which it obviously has. But, however, form does not stretch over months and months. Form is built up over a prolonged period of playing and the team journey together. Now, it's not like they've been off, having time to train and being in and around each other's company. They've been off. They've been in their homes, stuck in their homes. They've not been in and around each other. I'm sure they've been, there's been a bit of camaraderie in their social media groups together. Obviously, they've been back to training for a couple of weeks, but they've not been together. So this momentum that we built up, I just hope that we can display it in our performance against Spurs. Now, we made the decision to fly to London early this afternoon and stay overnight, which I feel was the best move, and not do like Arsenal did and leave it till late and fly the same day. And yeah, it just gives more time for settling in period and preparation, and hopefully a much needed sort of seamless transition into the game time. Now, the fact that we've flown in today, obviously that means the team's been decided, would have been decided already. Potentially the players would have been notified of who's starting and who's not. Obviously we can name 9 substitutes on the bench and use 5 of those in 3 different stoppages. So that being said, we've got a big squad, so it wouldn't surprise me if we started with a not too familiar team. Now, it was reported that both Rashford and Pogba won't complete the 90 minutes. Hopefully they'll get a good 75 minutes under their belt with the win in the bag, and hopefully that's not chasing the game. Now, the one main danger man, or sorry, two main danger men, I should say, that Spurs normally hold in their deck of playing cards is Son and also Harry Kane. Harry Kane had a torn hamstring. He tore his muscle off the bone. So he's going to be playing for the first time. Now, the team, I must stress, the team I'm about to go through is what I believe Ollie will select to play and face against Spurs. Not what I want. I want and what Ollie wants, two different things, but he's the gaffer. So I believe Ollie will go with David De Gea, Aaron Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof and Shaw. I believe that he trusts Shaw quite a lot, and I felt like in the the real crunch moments, he went and favoured with Luke Shaw. Now I believe he'll go for 4-2-3-1, with Pogba having the license. Yes, Pogba having the license to get forward, as well as Bruno Fernandes. So within that 4-2-3-1, I believe he'll start with next to Pogba. I believe it will be Matic. Because of Matic's form, I believe he may start with him, although there's whispers of Fred starting as well next to Pogba. I believe Bruno will obviously get a start, who will be the most forward thinking central midfielder out of the three, and they'll be flanked by Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial and Daniel James, who Daniel James' work rate and just outright speed, is a threat in any game. And Spurs do have a lot of, I suppose, athletes in their side as well. So the more speed and athleticism in the side, the better, which is why I believe there's whispers of Fred starting as opposed to Matic. Fred's a lot more mobile than Matic. That being said, I feel like Ollie probably trusts Matic a little bit more over Fred. Now, as for the league table, obviously Sheffield Wednesday played Aston Villa yesterday, which done us a favour. Them only getting a point from the game as opposed to the 3, which I expected, based on current form, or should I say previous form before the lockdown. Now we are in 5th position, 1 point ahead of Sheffield United, and I suppose the fact that Spurs are sitting behind us in 8th place and 4 points behind us, I suppose it's a good thing, but it's still dangerous, because if Spurs beat us, 3 points behind Spurs are behind us. If Spurs beat us, then we're in trouble. We've got Wolves behind Sheffield United and 2 points behind us, and Tottenham, like I say, Arsenal behind them. And it's all basically between 9th position where Arsenal is and 5th position where we are. There's only 5 points between us. Chelsea are ahead of us on the same games, 3 points ahead of us though. However, we have the greater goal difference by 2. So hopefully we can get that win and put some pressure on Chelsea and take that 4th spot. That being said, obviously we don't know what's happening with Man City yet in terms of their financial fair play and whether or not they're going to get banned from Europe next season. Hopefully they do. That being said, I believe we should take our own destiny into our own hands, do Tottenham over, get to the next game and be ready to continue on with our resurgence into the Champions League places. Do not get me wrong, guys. I do not believe this is the pinnacle of where we are or where we should be. However, I believe it's crucial to attracting the players that we want to bring in the next transfer or summer transfer window. So we have to get that Champions League spot. After our crucial clash away against Spurs, our running of fixtures goes like this. We then have Sheffield United at home, Norwich away, Brighton away, Bournemouth at home, Villa away, Southampton away, Southampton at home, Crystal Palace away, West Ham at home, and finishing up with Leicester away. Now, don't get me wrong, there could be easier fixtures in there if we took out Leicester, for example, and possibly Sheffield United. Other than that, that's as easier close to the season of fixtures that we're going to get. So I feel like we've been dealt a good hand there, and if we cannot take our chance in terms of winning all those games, which, believe you me, I fully expect us to win all of those games. The biggest test will be Spurs away tomorrow, which, like I say, I believe we'll get the win on that one, which takes me nicely into my next point with my score prediction of 3-1 to Manchester United. Come on. Yeah, I feel like we'll get the win. Whether or not we'll get the clean sheet, Spurs do have some dangerous players, obviously, as I've stated before, especially the fact that Harry Kane's back now, Son's available, Dele Alli is always a threat to us. So yeah, I think they'll score, but I believe we'll score more than them. We'll score one more than you. No, hopefully we score two more, as my prediction says in 3-1. Yes, also, our scorers, I've gone one step further. I'm not just predicted, I'm going one step further and given the goal scorers, who I believe will be Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, and Anthony Martial. That's we've got a lot of firepower, not just in that starting lineup, but we can bring on obviously some firepower from the bench as well in Odion Ighalo and Mason Greenwood as well. So we can trouble teams. We can, like I was saying before, the fact that we have multiple options, multiple creative options as well now in the same side. It gives oppositions more problems. They can no longer just sit on one individual. They can no longer just isolate Pogba or Rashford or Bruno or Daniel James or Martial. You see what I did there? There's loads and loads of different problems for oppositions to look out for now. So they cannot just sit on any one individual at any one given time. Okay, make sure you tune into my next piece of content, and that will be the match review on Spurs. Let's hope we get the result. Fingers crossed, like I say, through when United. Come on.